back to a brand new episode of Virtual Coffee. My name is Alexa Collier, and on this podcast, I chat with small business owners. We discuss their journeys, pieces of advice, perspectives, and sometimes I'll do solo episodes where I share what's on top of my mind and give you accelerators and advice for you listening. Now with me today is Rachel, the team lead of Braid Babes here in the Raleigh area. Braid Babes is a mobile braiding service that will come to you to braid your hair. People hire them for birthday parties, bachelorette parties, or just for fun. I had a great time chatting with Rachel, and I'm hoping I can get my hair braided sometime soon. Rachel and team were also kind enough to give Virtual Coffee listeners 15% off their services. You just have to use the code VCoffee15. So that's V as in Victor, Coffee, COFFEE 1515. VCoffee15. Thank you so much, Rachel and team. Now, before we dive into this episode, I'd appreciate if you could rate and review Virtual Coffee on the Apple Podcast app. You just go to the show, scroll all the way down, and just hit that 5-star button. It's as easy as that. You can also follow us along on Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias. It's at Virtual Coffee Podcast. As always, thank you so much for your support and thank you for listening. And I know you'll enjoy this episode with Rachel, so let's get to it. Welcome, Rachel. Thank you so much for being on Virtual Coffee today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Me too. So to kick off our episode here, tell us a bit about yourself, tell us a bit about Braid Babes, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure. So my name is Rachel. I am the team lead for our Braid Babes Raleigh location. So in essence, I'm the manager of the team. I help with the trainings and getting people where they need to be, and help our community manager plan events to get us out in the community. We're pretty new. We just started the beginning of July in Raleigh. So we're just still getting the word out about who we are and what we do, which will segue right into Braid Babes. We are mobile braiders. So we come to you. We don't have a physical location. You can go on our website and book our services, and we come to wherever you are, whether it's your home, whether it's a bachelorette party, whether you want to meet at a park. We come to you. We bring everything that you could possibly think of that's needed for your hair, and then we braid you right there.
I didn't know you guys didn't have a storefront. That's pretty neat. So you come to the customer.
We are completely mobile. So we do team up with local businesses and we'll do a braid bar. So we'll go with like a boutique or something, or a coffee shop, or we were just over at Bowstring a few weeks ago for their fall festival. And we team up with them for a few hours to do like a 4-hour braid bar, and just everybody from the community comes out and gets braided.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I noticed that Braid Babes, I think, has different locations. So is it like
We do.
Is it a franchise model, or is that completely wrong?
No, we're not a franchise model right now. I don't know what the future holds, but right now we started in Buffalo. So our owner and our co-owner are both from Buffalo. They started there. It kind of exploded and blew up there. And then they expanded to Nashville. And then again, it kind of exploded there. And then our third city is Raleigh. We're the most recent city, and we're growing and thriving here.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. So more just the business scaled and you lead the Raleigh team.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. How'd you get involved with Braid Babes?
Yeah, so Braid Babes does something called a boot camp, where you might see ads on your Instagram or Facebook, where it's a 2-week completely virtual course where you get to learn different braids. Like you get to learn one braid a day. And they send you everything you need, a mannequin, and then you get a little box with like hair ties and different products you'll use. And I saw the course, and I have 2 little girls, and I was like, oh, that looks like so much fun. I just want to learn how to do some braids on my kids' hair. And after the 2-week course, I was obsessed. I was super into it. And Raleigh had just started and we were hiring. So I went through then there's a 2-week onboarding process. I went through that. I got hired And then I got hired as the team lead for the city.
Nice.
So it kind of all just flowed together.
Yeah, that's awesome. I bet a couple of years ago you didn't think you'd be braiding for a living. Is that an
Not at
accurate statement?
all. I went to school to be an elementary school teacher.
Oh, nice.
So no, I mean I braided like little girls' hair
Right.
when I worked, but never like this.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
exciting.
it is exciting. And yeah, I definitely never expected to do it. And I loved boot camp so much that I was like, they're like, we're hiring. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
let's do it.
Very cool. I bet your girls love it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my girls are 7 and 5 and they're obsessed. Like they
Yeah,
wanna be braid babes, they wear the t-shirts, they want their
that's
hair
awesome.
braided every day, so they love it.
That's so cute. That's awesome. Can you describe either like some of the breeds you do or your service? So if someone listening is like, oh, maybe I have a party coming up or want to, hire braid babes, like what could they expect?
Sure. So we have all different types of appointments. We have braid appointments where, again, we would just come to your house or wherever you feel comfortable meeting, and we can do a single braid, or if you and a friend wanted to get braided, we can do more than one person at a time. We also have shimmers that we do. You might have heard it called fairy hair or
Mm.
like hair tinsel. That's a big service. People of all ages love that. So we do that as well. You can just do those, or you can do those and a braid. And then we do braid and shimmer parties. So we've done kids' birthday parties. That's a really big event for us. We do
Mhm.
bachelorette parties. Any party you could think of, if you just want to get together with some friends and get braided and shimmered, we do that. We also do something called feed-ins, which is like colored synthetic hair that
Okay.
people do for music festivals, or they just want to add some extra, length and volume to their natural colored hair. So we do that, and that's really fun. People are really getting into that, especially with music festivals. It's turned into a big service for us.
That makes sense. I wouldn't think of the like the music festival. But yeah, there's a lot of events now that you're mentioning. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense that people would
Yeah.
want their hair
They
braided."
love it, and, like, concerts, or we have people that are going to Disney, so they'll get braided, like, the night before, and then they go to Disney with their hair braided or feed-ins in it, or they're going to the beach, all different types of events. Then we do bridal. So
Okay.
we do bachelorette parties, and then we do bridal as well. So whether it's just the bride or it's the whole bridal party, whatever you're looking for, we do that, and we'll come to the venue or wherever is needed. And then we have something called Braid Bay service. So
Hmm.
it's like our monthly subscription service. So you can get braided once a month, twice a month, or 4 times a month.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
almost like you get discounted. We come to you, you can add on shimmers, and then there's additional perks that go with that. Like if you come to a braid bar, you get bumped to the front of the line. So it's a fun subscription service that people are getting into. They realize, oh, I have an event kind of every month, or I have something going on every month. So it just makes sense to do the Braid Bay
Yeah.
subscription.
That's fun. That's awesome. Yeah, this is such a neat idea. I can see why it's so popular. That's cool.
It's so popular, and I've done appointments with kids at their homes for like
Mhm.
picture day or family pictures,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the moms or dads are always like, "Oh man, I wish I knew how to braid like that."
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Well, we do lessons, so we can come to your house, and if there's one you really want to learn,
Oh,
we can teach
cool.
you that as well." Yeah, so it's just like a hands-on hour class that we work
Right.
together.
That's a good idea too, especially for parents with, kids who want their hair braided. That's a great idea.
Exactly. Yeah, and it helps. I mean, you can watch YouTube videos, but once it's hands-on and someone's helping you,
Mhm.
it's a big game
Right.
changer.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, that's neat. And when you go to braid someone's hair, like, do you request, "Oh, can you have it washed?" Like, are there any
Yeah.
prep steps people need to do?
Yeah, so when you book an appointment on the website, you'll get an email confirmation that'll have kind of all the steps like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, fresh hair washed and
Yep.
dried. And then we always suggest, like, our braids usually last for a few days. We've had a couple TikToks that kind of went viral where they lasted for more than 10 days.
Yeah.
So as long as you really take care of it and you're not like a rough sleeper, they can last for days, which is amazing. But like
Yeah.
we say before you go to bed, put some hairspray in it. You can sleep with like a silk pillowcase, or if you like to have a silk head wrap just to protect the braid. But yeah, as long as you're not a rough sleeper, they last
Hmm.
pretty long.
Definitely. I mean, even when I do just French braids in my hair, they last a couple days. So I can't even imagine professional braids, like
Right?
how long they'll last.
And then you
Yeah.
have like the best curls afterwards. So
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, how fun. Do a lot of the clients like get so relaxed? Like I love when people do my hair. I can just imagine it's also a very
same.
relaxing experience.
It is relaxing, and you really get to know the person that
Mhm.
you're working with, and they share different stories with you, and it's very just fun and upbeat. And I mean, I find it relaxing to braid and to get braided, so I think the
Mhm.
clients find that as well. I think
Yeah.
most people like getting their hair done like that.
Definitely. Ah, nice. Like, imagining it now, like, ah, so relaxing.
I know. We'll have to meet up in person so you can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
braided.
Yeah, definitely, that's awesome. More on the business side of things, I'm curious
Sure.
how much, like, control or creativity do you have as the team lead, or does everything
Mhm.
come from, the Braid Babes company?
We have our owner, Emily, and
Mhm.
then our co-founder, Tori.
Okay.
So a lot comes from them. They are leading us. They've been in it from the beginning. But if there's something specific we want to do that's very specific to Raleigh and to our clientele, we're able to do that. So there is flexibility to it as well.
Yeah, because it's not the franchise model, so it's more you're just a part of this company, you're a part of
Right.
the team, so, yeah, I can
We're
imagine that
part
we
of like the bigger picture, but
Right.
each city is kind of different. Like Buffalo has been in it
Mhm.
for almost 3 years, so they have a very huge clientele. They
Okay.
signed with the Buffalo Bills this year,
Oh,
so
wow.
they're at all their home games braiding. So people there really know who Braid Babes are. And then Nashville is it's such a happening city right now. Bachelorette parties, people go
Yep.
down to party and hang out and travel, so they kind of have a different clientele. And then Raleigh, we have so many colleges, and then we're also
Yeah.
very family friendly. We all kind of have our own specific events and things that we do
Yeah, that makes sense, how it kinda differs per
per
city and also
city.
the growth and, like, what direction it grows in.
Exactly.
Yep. And how big is your team specifically here in Raleigh?
So we have a total of 6 braiders right now. And then we have 2 braid bar assistants. So if we
Okay.
have a big braid bar event, we have an assistant we have like a wait list. So they get that going. They help with sales. They help keep everything flowing very
Mhm.
nicely so that the braiders can focus on braiding.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and is this your and their full-time job, or, is this more of a, like, kinda side hustle?
So for me, it is full time. Like
Okay,
I'm
nice.
completely dedicated to Braid Babes and
Yeah.
growing Raleigh and our team. For some of the other people on the team, it's part time. Like some of them
Okay.
use it as a side hustle. Some are moms that want some extra cash to do, the fun things. And then as we grow, like Buffalo, for example, they do have some full time braiders because they're that busy. So as we grow, we'll start to need that as well.
Okay, gotcha. How has
Yeah.
been the balance there? Because I can imagine most events, are they during, like, typical 9 to 5 hours? I'm assuming they're not, right? I'm sure you have a
Yeah.
lot of events after 5.
Most events are definitely weekend events,
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday, or yeah, evening hours, like 5 to 7 or 6 to 8, depending on who we're partnering with. But yeah, it's usually definitely a weekend thing. Like we'll do a 4 hour or 6 hour braid
Ah.
bar. A lot of braiding is happening.
Yeah, how is that balance there? Like, balancing that with, family, friends? I'm not sure, did you come from a, like, typical 9 to 5 job, or, what was your background before Braid Babes?
So my background is elementary teacher.
Ah,
I
yes,
I
yes, okay.
taught social and emotional skills for K through 5, and during the pandemic, I was actually laid off,
Okay.
and then I had a baby.
Mhm.
So and then I moved to a different state.
Yep.
Um, I was in the process of just like moving and working with three
Ah,
kids.
okay.
So for me, like I jumped right into the full-time role. But
Nice.
the best thing about Brave Babes is that you can make your own schedule. So if you're like, I have family stuff going on today, or I know every Sunday during these hours I can't work, you're
Hmm.
completely in control of your calendar. So you can block out where you need to and work where you want to.
That's nice. It seems slightly different from some of the other business owners I have on the podcast who are making physical products, right? Because I think
Right.
that might be slightly harder to control because you can always, go into your office and make another earring or something like that. But for you guys, it's very dependent on, okay, we're going to go to this appointment today. And I'm sure those appointments can book up. And I know your days are definitely hectic, but
Right.
seems perhaps more in your control, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we definitely have our busy times, but since we're still growing, like we do have more of control of, when can I work? When do I want to work? What makes sense in my schedule right now? And being able to do that. I think as we grow, we'll get even crazier and more hectic, but then our
Right.
team will grow too. So we'll have
Definitely.
braiders to fill those spaces.
No, for sure. It seems like you found this really fun passion, business to run. Like you're really running this team here in Raleigh. Any
Yeah.
advice for others who are on that journey of finding the thing they really like, or I don't know, just any thoughts or advice for other people?
Yeah. I think just being really open to different experiences. If there's something you're interested in or passionate about, just go for it. Like when I signed up for boot camp, it was just because I was interested in it. I
Okay.
never expected a full-time job out of it, but as the experience went along, I became really open to it and open to the possibilities of what could unfold. And I think another important thing is not forcing anything. I think sometimes people get so stressed out, and this is me included, that you
Hmm.
kind of force certain things to happen because you're stressed or you need a job or this or that. But I think just being open and just trying to go with the flow really as much as possible can open different doors.
Yeah, I think I like both of those points, is especially the just discovering your passions and, like, to your point, sometimes that requires just going with the flow, seeing what happens, like, exactly your story, right? You weren't
Yeah,
seeking to go be a braider or even a hairstylist, right? This just kinda happened, and now look where you are. You kinda found
yeah.
what makes you happy.
It literally, yeah, it just happened. And I joked that like growing up, my dad was a hairdresser, and I was
Ah,
like,
okay.
he had his own business, and I'm like, I grew up in that industry and never expected to go that route because I was so into teaching. And it's interesting how things shift when you allow them.
No, your story is very interesting because it really did just kind of, like, fall into your lap or you kinda stumbled into it. That's really
Yes.
neat. And where do you see your future? Are you imagining just keep growing your team here in Raleigh for Braid Babes? Do you have other business ideas or adventures you want to go on? What are your thoughts for your future?
I would love to see Braid Babes Raleigh really start to expand and more people get to know about us. I mean, Raleigh's considered kind of a smaller city, but we're growing every day. Like it's a
Yeah.
thriving city. And there's so many cities on the outskirts as well. So I would really love to see us start to expand and people get to know who we are and what we do and get out in the community more. And then I would just love to see our team grow to get more breeders and, have a really thriving city. So that's definitely my goal. I love working for the company and managing a team and leading the
Mhm.
team. So I'm all about that. As long as I can help, everybody grow, I'm all for it.
Looking forward to seeing that continued growth and following your journey with Braid Babes. Do you guys ever go to, like, the local markets around here and have a booth, or does that not fit the model of Braid Babes?
That is definitely something we're working on that I've been pushing. I'm like, there's so many markets, night
Yeah.
markets, farmers markets, different
Right.
things where people, so many people go to, and there's so many local artists and local businesses that I would love to have us part of that.
Hmm.
So it's definitely something in the works.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can imagine you guys having a booth there and people can kind of pop in and then, they see the result and are like, oh, this is awesome. And then get your
Right.
services again.
You
Yeah.
get so many eyes on us for
Hmm.
sure.
What is your day to day like with Braid Babes? Like, are you in charge of the social media aspect as well as
Mhm.
going to go braid? What are kind of your main responsibilities?
Yes, so most of my work is remote.
Okay.
So I'm able to work from home. A lot of it is done virtually. I do run our social media accounts. So, maybe pushing different things. Like we have Thanksgiving up, so pushing Thanksgiving and holiday appointments. And then I also work with the two other cities. So
Ah,
there's team leads in the other cities. And then I work with our owner and our co founder of what's going on, what different ideas can we throw around together. So we have a lot of virtual meetings together throughout the week to see where everybody's at and kind of help each other out.
just sounds fun, honestly.
It
Just,
is. It is a
yeah.
lot of fun. And then if you get booked for an appointment, like some days, I'll have meetings all day and then I'm
Mm,
booked for a couple of braid appointments.
sure.
So each day varies. So there's not that monotony of, certain other jobs, which is
Mhm.
great,
Right.
for some people, but it is, it changes a lot. So I like that.
Yeah, sounds like you have, like your hands on a lot of aspects of the business, which is also huge, even for your own skill building and your own brand too. That's
For
neat to be
sure.
able to, touch on a lot of aspects of the business.
Yeah, it's great to be able to work with the other cities. Like
Mm,
most of these people I haven't met in person, but we talk virtually every day. And it's great to just have that community of working together and helping each other out. Like I know if I
yeah,
need help, I can go talk to the team lead in Buffalo and she can help me through something.
right.
So that's really incredible to have that support system.
Yeah, you have the built-in community, which sometimes takes,
Exactly.
other business owners or people just starting like a while to obtain. It's nice that it's built in for you. It's kind of automatic.
Yeah, I agree. And it's been nice to see that, to see a woman-owned company and
Mhm.
how it's run and how everybody supports each other and is so positive. That's a big part of the company is being positive and supporting one another. So I love to be part of something like that.
Yeah, agreed. That's really awesome. I'm so happy you found it. Again, it's just
Me too.
such a neat business idea. It's just such a great service for many, many different types of events and people.
Right, and when I first came across it, I saw a braid bar happening in the summer,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." Like, that's something I would go to or I would take my girls to.
Right.
And then, the boot camp popped up on, like an Instagram ad, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun." So if it's
Yeah.
something where I would be a customer as well, that was a big selling point for me.
Mhm. Yeah, the, universe must have been listening. They knew you saw
Yeah.
that and gave you an ad for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, before I jump into my last question here, is there
Sure.
anything else that we didn't touch upon, Rachel, that you wanted to bring up? Any other pieces of advice or thoughts as it relates to Braid Babes or yourself?
I think one thing that we have coming up fairly soon is our boot camp. So
Mm.
we run a boot camp that I had touched on. Our next one starts December 1st, which is not that far away. And like I said, it's 2 weeks, it's completely virtual. We send you everything you need. You can go at your own pace. And then if you are in a city like Raleigh that we're hiring in, you could possibly work for the company if that's something you're looking for. So if this sounds like, something fun or you're interested in, definitely sign up for boot camp. You can always send me a DM on Instagram and I can answer any questions you have. But I'd love to get some more people on our team.
Excellent. I'll definitely have you shout out all your social medias at the end here. But the one question I end every episode with is in this moment, what is your proudest accomplishment? And it can be related to Braid Babes or something completely on a different topic. Just kind of that first thing that pops into your mind of your proudest accomplishment.
Oh, I would have to say my family is my
Mhm.
proudest accomplishment. I'm a mom, I have 3 kids, so that's definitely my proudest accomplishment. If I'm talking business, becoming a lead of a city is I have managed other places before, but to be able to go into a role like this has been a major accomplishment for me. I think I gave you 2 answers, but I hope that's okay.
No, that totally works. Congratulations on both of those accomplishments. Both are extremely incredible, and like I said, I'm looking forward to following your journey. And before we sign off, where can others follow along with your journey? Shout out any social medias, website, etc.
Sure. So our website is braidbabes.com, and that's where you can book appointments, parties, you can sign up for our boot camp on there. Literally everything's on there. You can buy apparel on there. So whatever you need is on there. And then we have our Raleigh Instagram, which is braidbabes_Raleigh. And then we have our Braid Babes official Instagram, which is just for all the cities. So it's Braid Babes_official. We also have our 2 cities, Nashville and Buffalo. So it's just Braid Babes_Buffalo and then Braid Babes_Nashville. And throwing a lot of Instagrams at you. If you'd like
No,
to
you're good.
if you'd like to follow me on
Mhm.
Instagram, or if you have questions about anything, it's Braid Babe Rachel, Rachel. A lot of people spell my name wrong, so I'll throw the spelling in there.
Perfect.
And then we have a Facebook group too. So
Okay.
we have a Braid Babes Facebook group, which you can join. It's just I am a Braid Babe. It's a private group you can ask to be a part of, and we'll post different things on in there. We'll post coupons in there, so it's a great group to be a part of. And I think that's it for Instagram and Facebook. Oh, and we're on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so make sure I'm very new to the world of TikTok, so don't judge me. But Brave Babes has a TikTok, which our owner runs,
Okay.
and it's Braid Babes. Yeah, and we have a lot of followers. We have like 30,000 followers on there,
Wow,
so
nice.
definitely, yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for all our social media. So we're across all the platforms.
Excellent. Well, I hope everyone checks out you and Braid Babes. And Rachel, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today and sharing your story.
Thanks so much for having me. I had such a good time.